It's crazy to think that the last time Batman had his own solo adventure on the big screen was all the way back in 2012 with The Dark Knight Rises. Sure, you could technically count the Lego Batman movie in 2017, but let's just stick to live action for right now. Even though we've had several iterations of the character since then, we haven't really gotten a full-on Batman story. This is ironic because for the first time ever, we're getting 3 live-action Batman in theaters in the same year. Affleck and Keaton will both be appearing in the Flash movie later this year, but to kick things off, we have first-time Caped Crusader Robert Pattinson in Matt Reeves' The Batman.
Sorry.
I wouldn't be bothering you here, but your people keep telling me you're unavailable. Now, you really could be doing more for this city.
Set in Batman's second year of crime fighting, the Dark Knight is still struggling with his role as Gotham's protector. Even with allies like Jim Gordon, played by Jeffrey Wright of the GCPD, Bruce is still wondering if his city is worth saving. This is only made more difficult when a deranged serial killer calling himself the Riddler begins to pick off some of Gotham's most powerful figures. As Batman attempts to solve the madman's game, he crosses paths with the likes of Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman and an unrecognizable Collin Farrell as the Penguin, just to name a few. Right off the bat, and yes, that pun is intended, Pattinson might be the best live-action Batman to date. While I'll always have nostalgia for Keaton in the role and Conroy will forever be the definitive voice of Batman, Pattinson perfectly captures the character. From his first scene, Pattinson is able to convey so much about his character without saying a line. He's also helped out by a phenomenal ensemble cast. The chemistry between him and Kravitz leaps right off the screen and feels right out of something like Batman Hush. Collin Farrell truly blew me away with his performance. When I say he's unrecognizable, I mean that I had to keep reminding myself that that was him under all that makeup. And Jeffrey Wright surprisingly gets some of the funnier lines in the movie, and I hope that he becomes a central player in the GCPD spin-off later down the line. Another standout element of the film has to be Michael Giacchino's haunting score. It's no Elfman score, but Giacchino's music was perfect for this iteration of the Batman. The score knows when to be grand and epic, but also knows when to be quiet and foreboding like the hero it's meant for. The music also helps elevate some great action sequences. The fight scenes and car chases are insanely well shot, and at times feel like they are ripped straight from the Arkham series. Now, with all this praise, you might be thinking that this has to be the best Batman movie ever, and I know a lot of people who would agree with this statement. But there are some elements that really hold the film back from that status. The biggest thing working against the film is its runtime. At just under 3 hours, it's impressive that you don't really feel the runtime while you're watching it. However, there's a certain point towards the third act where you think the movie is wrapping up, and if it did end there where I thought it was going to, it would have been great. But then you realize there's still another 40 minutes in the movie. And while these last 40 minutes still have some great action, it just feels out of place to have a mostly CGI heavy finale when, for the most part, the movie has been relatively down to earth. I also won't spoil anything, but there was a scene at the very end that's meant to be a setup for some future sequel, and it had me groaning in the theater. For a film that felt so self-contained, this scene felt needlessly tacked on. Overall, though, the third act might hurt some of the movie's good graces, but the good stuff in this movie is really good. In fact, some of the stuff in this movie, like Pattinson and the action, are some of the best Batman content, period. The movie is sure to be a great time for Batman fans, and I look forward to seeing where this version of the character goes from here. For SUTV Entertainment, I'm Adam Beam.
Guy's crazy!
You're part of this too. How am I part of this? You'll see.